There we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Top Dog League Series week number 2. We've got KLG going up against 440 Gaming, and this is going to be game number 4 here on Catalina Ladder Edition. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner here on Catalina in the blue trunks. Representing Team 440 Gaming, he is GNXCommand.
And on the left side of the map, playing for KLG, just needs to get that one more win for his team to secure the victory for this round. It's the Red Terran, SenDoh.
SenDoh. What an awesome name. So, yes, we have a PvT here on Catalina, and as you said, this is definitely going to be a more Terran-favored map. Any predictions?
I'm not familiar enough with either of these players to make an adequate prediction.
What, you can't just throw something out there? Be like, he's probably going to do a Reaper expand and then maybe go for a 10 minute...
I've seen some crazy builds happen.
I
mean, for all we know, we could see Daishi's Mass Hellion build happen.
Yes, Mass Hellion's OP.
But we do see GNX only going for one gas at 15. So the question is whether or not he's going to build the pylon in main or proxy it. But he builds it in main, so we're not going to see any proxy shenanigans either.
Yeah, usually, what was it? Was it a 15 assimilator? Yeah, 15 assimilator, or was it 14? Because usually it's 14.
It was 15. It was 1 at 15 as opposed to 2 at 16.
Oh yeah.
And usually when you go for the 15 assimilator, you also go for a 20-21 assimilator for a second one.
Yep. So not going to be doing anything too terribly gas heavy, which means he's definitely going to... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we do see the Reaper expand pointed to the wrong way in addition to an CV scout, though.
Yeah, so he's going to get up in there, see that there's nothing going on, and then should go ahead and send out his Reaper to the appropriate place. Yes. And now, granted, we do already have the probe out on the field, going to be posturing to place that proxy pylon. Lots of P's. But it does also look like he is going to go for that relatively quick expand, which I kind of anticipated. So I'll probably throw that down and then throw down his next assimilator here shortly. And then get his warp gate.
Yeah, both players are going for very stock builds here. Nothing too special, but it looks like GNX is going to lose this probe, which is definitely not what he wanted.
Yeah, Mothership Core going to come out, start poking a little bit at this Reaper. Reaper will go ahead and get away because he is quite fast.
Got 2 probes as well, so GNX kind of slacking on his control here. He shouldn't have let the second probe die at the very least. He could have pulled it back.
Yeah. So, yeah, second assimilator will go ahead and get taken. He'll probably start to think about getting his tech up. But, yeah, still got that probe out on the field. Looking to probably plant down a proxy pylon here shortly. But, yeah. Is it just me, or did he miss warp gate?
He did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, warp gate has not been started.
This is not going to bode well very, very soon. That has to be a mistake. That can't be.
It's been like 3 seconds, almost a minute, based on how far along this robo's done. This is a massive mistake. He's got to have something planned.
Well, he got the mothership core first, which was his first 100 gas, and then he started getting his stalkers, but completely missed the warp gate. So that's definitely going to be a little bit of an issue here. He's getting a century now. Still doesn't realize it. He's got to realize it soon though, because that is going to be a big problem here shortly.
Unless he's trying to prove a point, this is
really
not a good sign.
Yeah, because Stem's almost a little under halfway done. Granite Forge is on the way. I'm not sure. There we go. Finally, chrono boosting out the warp gate. getting things rocking and rolling. Now, he really needs to get some tech behind this. I kind of feel like an Immortal would be just an extra precautionary measure, but it does look like
I think he can get by with just more sentries, provided he can force field the ramp. If he can cut off his opponents getting up the ramp with a photon overcharge, he'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
But
gonna be interesting though, because obviously Marine Marauder count is getting fairly. I wouldn't say this is dangerous, but I mean this has potential. It's not something that can't be dealt with, but does have the potential if he can stim in there and really get like behind the force fields. He should be able to just tank over this, because that's a fair number of Marines.
yeah, it is a bit concerning, but it seems like as long as the force fields aren't missed, they'll be fine.
What?
This is preemptive.
Yeah, like super crazy preemptive. Like, okay, so he's gonna take out one of the zealots. Force fields weren't quite.
But the Reaper's back in the main, causing problems.
Yep, it is up to 4 kills in total. Gonna
5.
get its 5th, so two more down. Total of 5. So that Reaper has contributed quite well. Third command center going to be going down here for SenDoh, and yeah, basically at this point, I think SenDoh could pretty much just stim right up in there and have some fun. So I'm
this is
this is just like I don't even know where to begin. I mean, granted, he's done a good job getting his production up. His probe count is, I mean, yeah, he's at 49 probes. His force fields are still a little off, and I don't even know why he threw that down.
it's always so early.
Yeah.
His force fields aren't very good either.
Yeah, so Marine's going to stem in here, try and get as much damage done as possible. Now, granted, the Immortal is out already, so he is going to be able to push this back. I don't know. I still think he could like sit here and do something. The photon cannon is only going to last for so much longer, and I feel like if he were just stream units across the field, he'd be a-okay.
One Colossus isn't going to cut it, especially without Thermal Lance. Thermal Lance hasn't even started yet because he simply doesn't have the money for it.
Yeah. He's been really far behind the entire game, just as a function of that warp gate research.
Yeah, he's floating a lot of money right now. He needs to add the gateways. He needs to go up more, and he needs to start warping in zealots.
Yep, gotta get that.
The problem is behind this, SenDoh has that third base.
Yeah, and it's already started mining at that point. It does look like GNXCommand is going to go ahead and try and plant down this Nexus, but it will immediately get picked off if he does, I think. Because SenDoh's like, I smell some buildings.
GNX is getting caught up though now, but the problem is this one Colossus still doesn't have a lance.
Yeah. He needs, Command just needs to be very, very careful not to get caught out. There are no sentries in this force, so he's not going to be able to force field the ramp. There is enough energy for another photon overcharge. If that is the case, Stim in is going to go ahead and go down. Immortal is going to try and get focused down. Colossus getting a fair amount of damage done, but the micro from SenDoh is coming out here pretty well. Yeah, at this point, I think
Blink is on the way.
That's interesting choice. Stim in. He's going to try and get the... Oh, just barely misses the Colossus. Colossus will... He's like, must kill Colossus.
Yeah, that Colossus blade living is definitely very inconvenient for SenDoh. And the fact is he's losing a lot of supply. Blink just finished, so there will be a Blink forward on these medevacs as well. And because the third is now basically complete, GNX is pretty comfortable. He just needs to keep quarreling out that Thermal Lance, though, because without Thermal Lance, Colossi do have the same range as Marauders.
Yeah, so, yeah, at this point, I think surprisingly, GNXCommand has definitely put himself into a good position. Granted, we do have a
drop in the main.
Yeah, drop in the main is going to be going down. Lots of what the? That's interesting. Ooh, drop is going to go ahead and get taken out, and at this point, looks like.
Oh, but the photon overcharge was wasted.
Again, where at the natural?
Yeah, in the main. He popped in the main.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a little preemptive, but I think, had the cannons not been there, it would have definitely been necessary.
I wish GNX was a little bit more on top of using his chrono, at least for the upgrades, because he could have gotten his +2 armor. I mean, yeah, +2 armor nearly complete by now.
Yeah.
He also needs to keep building Colossus.
Yeah, I'm really so he's getting his Templar Archives, which I think is a much needed addition because Vikings are already out on the field, and he's going to want to get Archons up as quickly as possible. But at this point, he's not. He's in a decent enough position that I feel like all he needs to do is just defend the next push, and he should be in a pretty decent spot.
This is a very Marauder-heavy composition. If GNX were to invest more into upgrades and just start massing charge locks, it could be really rough for SenDoh as well, especially without having any mines. And I do like Marauder-heavy compositions. It makes you a lot less vulnerable to Storm. It makes you a lot less vulnerable to Colossus as well, just because your units are so much tankier.
Yep. Yeah, you don't have to worry about your units just completely melting. Does look like SenDoh's going to be trying to get in here into a decent enough position. Honestly, I don't see this going down for SenDoh. With this many Colossus and these Archons warping in, it's like,
With only 3 Colossus versus not a lot of Vikings either, only 9 Vikings, I don't think SenDoh wants to take this fight. I think he wants to get his Viking count up to about 14, 15.
Yeah.
And then once he gets to there, he wants to get the Ghost out and to take care of the High Templar. And once he has all of that, he's going to be very comfortable.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, GNXCommand is not aware that the 4th base is mining, so he doesn't know as far as economy what his opponent's up to. Yeah, this is definitely really interesting. A couple shots going to go down. Vikings definitely in a decent enough position.
GNX is slacking on the upgrades. Meanwhile, SenDoh is... I wish he would just drop a second eBay at this point, actually. He has enough money that he can afford it.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually does have a second eBay. I'd like to see him actually use these eBays then.
Yeah, he just needs to storm up into the natural. Done. Yeah, no problems here. He's now got high ground vision and the high ground advantage. The Vikings are going to town on the Colossus, and yeah, lots of damage going down. Storm going to go down. Pretty decent storms, but still, like you said, those Marauders are definitely holding true. Lag is ensuing quite heavily. But yeah, I feel like at this point, SenDoh has done it. I feel like he's pushed through. I'm not sure if this is... No, this is you. What's up? Are you still there? Oh, snap. Oh my. Looks like El Presidente is left the building. First world problems here, everybody. So yeah, so it looks like El Presidente not gonna quite get back in, unfortunately. Gosh, at the exciting part too. Oh my lord. So yeah, so he did drop out of the TeamSpeak chat, so he is most likely going to be out for now. A little bit unfortunate there. Anyways, so he will drop, and we should be back on our way. So yeah, so SenDoh doing lots of damage at this point, pretty much completely annihilating GNXCommand's entire army, and yeah. So now all of a sudden my volume is going just absolutely AWOL, so we're going to turn that down just a little. I'm going to bet that was a function of Skype. But anyways, looks like SenDoh is going to be queuing up to potentially do a second attack. Granted, his army is still pretty darn low from all those storms earlier, so we will have to see whether or not he's going to be able to get himself into a decent enough position. Lots of zealots here. Should be able to tank a lot of damage. Granted, the supply is definitely heavily favoring SenDoh's favor, as he is almost fully capped out once again. Vikings are going to go ahead and land it since there are no more Colossus out on the field. And yeah, at this point, it does look like he's going to go and try and snipe this fourth base. Zealots coming in and start to whittle down this force. Granted, SenDoh does have a fairly big army up here, and a nice little position here. He's going to focus down the command center, and yeah, damage still ensuing. And now he's going to go try and focus down on the third piece. Full loadup is going to go ahead and take place, and some of these Vikings are going to go ahead and get picked off. But at this point, lots of zealots here in this composition. Not sure if this is what he was going for, or if he was just trying to get units out on the field. He was hovering a lot of minerals, so maybe he was just trying to get rid of that a little bit. But it does look like Command is going to go ahead and scout some of these extra bases that SenDoh had. And oh my lord, this has been one crazy freaking game. So yeah, Command's in a good position to defend at this point, but it does look like SenDoh's fully maxed out at this point. Ghosts and Marauders and Marines and Vikings, oh my. Drop going down in the main. Not going to be enough. Gonna try and pick up one of these Colossus. Lots of stuff going on at the same time. We do have random factions above. SenDoh doesn't know quite what to do. He is focusing down on supply cap his defense and actually calling back some of these gateways. I mean, at this point, this drop has really gone untouched, and some more of these Colossus are going to go ahead and get picked off. Command is going to try and move back with his army, but at this point, it's a little too late. I think the damage has been done. We've got some kind of counterattacks going on. Not really going to be able to get a whole lot done. Command's army is completely out of position. Workers are falling, the third is falling, and I think SenDoh is killing himself. Some feedback here. Some snipes going down, some snipes going down. SenDoh is just going on through liquid patterns. Because he is going to take game number 4. And wow, what a freaking game. Oh my lord. So yeah, KLG going to take game number 4, which is going to